I flew over 1,000 kilometres from Sydney to run 5. Sure, there was technically a wedding involved, but let's be honest, the parkrun was the main event. The wedding, a lovely side quest.
Good morning everyone, it is Saturday again and today I am here in Rockhampton in northern Queensland. I'm here for my brother's wedding and I'm very happy for him. But more importantly, there is a brand new parkrun in Rockhampton at the Kershaw Gardens. So today we're going to go for a run and we're going to go check it out and see what it's like. So come on and join me. So why is it colder in North Queensland this morning than in Sydney? My hands are frozen.
This is the Kershaw Gardens Parkrun in Rockhampton, Queensland. It is brand new. We're talking weeks old, and already it might be the most PB-friendly parkrun in all of Central Queensland. But here's what makes this one interesting. I grew up in Rockhampton. I know this park, and trust me, what this place used to be and what it is right now are two very, very different things. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the course is like, whether it's worth the trip, and whether I managed to use my brother's wedding as a valid excuse to also log a Saturday morning 5K. Spoiler, yes. For those who are new here, every single week I'm working my way through every parkrun in Sydney. All 36 of them. The fast ones, the scenic ones, the ones with hills, so brutal they should come with a disclaimer. I rate them, I review them, and I find out which ones are worth getting out of bed for on a Saturday morning. It's called the Sydney Parkrun Challenge, and if you want to follow along, hit subscribe. New parkrun every week. No excuses, no rest weeks, just a lot of Saturday mornings and an unhealthy relationship with Strava. Rockhampton, the beef capital of Australia, home of the Capricorn Caves, a roundabout collection that could rival small European countries, and apparently 2 parkruns now. That's right, as of just a few weeks ago, Kershaw Gardens joined the original Rockhampton Parkrun over at the Botanic and Japanese Gardens as the city's second official event. And I want to be clear about something up front. I love the original Rocky Parkrun. It's fine, it's lovely, it's got character. But if you're chasing a PB, you are at the wrong venue. Hills, undulating paths, it will humble you. Kershaw Gardens, on the other hand, looks at hills and says, absolutely not. This course is flat, like concerningly flat. Like, is this a real parkrun or a warm-up lap flat? And for those of us like myself who've spent way too many Saturdays suffering up Sydney inclines, that is extremely good news. Now, before we get into the course itself, I need to give you some important historical context about this park. Because when I was growing up in Rocky, Kershaw Gardens had a bit of a reputation. And I don't mean that beloved local landmark kind of way. I mean that as a kid, your parents told you to stay away from Kershaw Gardens after dark. The vibe was less community garden oasis and more, let's say, entrepreneurial activity that wasn't entirely above board. I'm not naming names. The statute of limitations may still apply. But here's the thing, and this is genuinely impressive. Over the last few years, Kershaw Gardens has undergone an enormous transformation. We're talking a full glow-up. New infrastructure, native plant installations, walking and cycle paths, family-friendly amenities, sculptures, water features. It is beautiful. I walked through it on Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. and genuinely thought, did I take a wrong turn into a botanical garden? Am I in the right suburb? The answer was yes. This is still Rocky. It's just that Rocky went and got its act together while I wasn't paying attention. Good for you, Rocky. Genuinely. Alright, let's talk about the actual course, because you're not here for my childhood trauma, you're here for the parkrun data. The Kershaw Gardens Parkrun is a 2-lap course. Now, I know, 2 laps, some of you just tensed up, I see you. 2-lap courses get a bad rep, and it's usually deserved. Nobody wants to pass the finish line at 2.5k and keep running. That is psychological warfare. But here's why Kershaw pulls it off. The laps feel natural. You're moving through different sections of the garden, it doesn't feel repetitive, and the whole thing is so flat by the time you're on lap 2, you're not dreading it, you're actually doing the maths on your PB. The only elevation you'll encounter is one slight rise, and I use the word hill very generously here. We're talking a gentle undulation, a terrain suggestion, barely a speed bump. Now the thing that really stood out to me, beyond the flat course, beyond the garden scenery, was the community. It's brand new, and yet the energy on a Saturday morning was electric. Rockhampton runners clearly had been waiting for this. There was a real sense that the community had shown up to claim this parkrun as their own. Volunteers were energetic, the race directors were pumped, first-timers were everywhere, And look, I'm a Sydney Parkrun. I do the Sydney Parkrun Challenge, working on my way through all 36 of Sydney's events, so I've got a decent basis for comparison. The community at Kershaw on day one had the kind of energy that some established Sydney Parkruns have taken years to build. That's not nothing. Rocky, and I say this as someone who grew up there and loves it, Rocky doesn't always get credits for the thing as it does well. The people here are genuinely friendly, not performatively friendly, actually friendly. The kind of friendly where someone you've never met is cheering your name at the 4K mark. And that's what Parkrun does, isn't it? That's the whole thing. A flat course in a beautiful garden is nice, but it's the community that makes you come back. Also, the flat courses for BBs. I'm not going to pretend that's not a factor. So the real question, how did my run go? I won't give you the full breakdown here, that's in the description and the Strava link below. But what I will say is this, Kershaw Gardens delivered exactly what it promised. The course is fast, the 2 laps keep your pacing honest, the slight hill barely registers, and the finishing through the gardens in the morning light with the volunteers cheering you across the line, it was worth every bit of guilt being sweaty at 8 AM on wedding day. So, Kershaw Gardens Parkrun, let me give you the summary. It's brand new, it's flat, it's a 2-lap course with 1 gentle incline that barely deserves a mention. It's set in a park that has gone from zero to genuinely stunning. The community is warm, the volunteers are enthusiastic, and if you are a Rockhampton runner looking for a PB course, this is it. If you're visiting Rocky for a wedding, a holiday, or just because you took a wrong turn on the highway, find a Saturday. This is worth your morning. And if you grew up here, like I did, and you haven't been back to Kershaw Gardens in a while, go back. It's different. It's better. Turns out gardens improve when people invest in them. Who knew?
Next weekend, I will be back in Sydney and we will be continuing our Sydney Parkrun Challenge. I want to get around to every single parkrun in Sydney. There's 36 in total. I've only done 7 of them, so there's plenty more to go. Make sure you hit subscribe. We've got a long journey ahead of us, but for now, have a great week and I'll see you all soon. Bye.